So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to this course right here, and I'm super happy to have you here. Now, before we get started with this lesson, I have a small confession to make. You see, when I started building this first Canva AI masterclass of mine, I honestly didn't expect it to change how I work, right, as much as it did, right? The more I experienced with the software, the more I realized that it's just not another online design tool. Don't get me wrong, I have been using Canva AI for some time before creating this course and have been using Canva for over, I guess, 10 years now, right? But after creating this course and after engaging more with Canva AI, I realized that there's something truly unique and truly special with this software. It was literally like unlocking a new language. And every time I used it and I engaged further with it, I found myself thinking exactly what I note here. Wait, this used to take me hours, and now it's done in minutes or even seconds, and it looks even better, right? Or, for example, wow, I used to pay thousands of dollars for people, professionals, to do this exact job that Canva AI does in literal seconds. Like a year ago, I used to pay $1,000, for example, for a service that Canva AI does in seconds for free, right? And this was a actually genuinely a really deep realization of mine. We're living in a truly revolutionary time, right? Where lots of things are going to change. And if you manage to understand the power of artificial intelligence and not only understand it, but actually apply it to your workflow, it's going to be a complete game changer. And that's your ticket, if you will, to ride this huge AI wave. Now, just a few months ago, again, I was ready to pay a five-figure amount to a, again, creative agency to have a complete rebranding done around my business, right? And again, I had everything like mood boards, strategy notes, examples sent to me, and I was literally ready to wire them a five-figure amount, right? And then I thought to myself, I might be able to do this with Canva AI. I might be able to rebrand my whole business with Canva AI. So I started engaging with Canva AI. I started working with the software, and it just kept surprising me over and over and over again, right? Literally, the more I engaged with the AI, the better it became. And it actually started to genuinely, raise up some concerns. I was like, maybe I don't need to spend 10K for a rebranding. I can do this with Canva AI. And this is what made me want to create this course after doing the whole rebranding myself and saving literally tens of thousands of dollars. This made me want to create this course right here to show you exactly what I did and how you can also use this insane tool, right? Kind of AI to brand or rebrand your business, right? So that's when I knew that this isn't just about, saving money. It was about revolutionizing creative freedom, right? And again, this is exactly what this course is about. So that being said, welcome to the course. I'm super again excited to have you here. Now, again, in this course, we're going to be exploring how artificial intelligence is again completely reshaping the world of branding and design, right? And don't get me wrong, branding and design are two super creative fields. And as you will understand in the next few theoretical lessons of this course before we launch Canva AI and before I show you firsthand how to apply all of these principles I'm going to be discussing, artificial intelligence isn't here for us to outsource our creativity or to outsource our imagination. It is here to help us apply this creativity that we have and contextualize it into real world scenarios, right? So in this course, again, you learn how to build a complete, consistent, and professional brand identity from your logo to your landing page, which, yes, by the way, you heard correctly, you can create a whole website in literal seconds with Canva AI, no developers included, no code included. It's insane. We're going to talk about this. So the goal with this course right here, right, isn't for me to teach you the Canva features, right? You can learn the Canva features by yourself. And if you want like a comprehensive analysis of Canva's features, you can check out my previous Canva AI masterclass that I have, right? But the goal of this course right here is to help you understand how artificial intelligence can become your creative assistant, right? And boost your workflow without removing your human touch. That's the most important thing, in my opinion, right? To understand how to use artificial intelligence and not to how to outsource, right? Humanity, right? And this human touch to artificial intelligence. So by the end of this course, you will be able to create, again, a cohesive brand system that reflects your vision and personality while using artificial intelligence to save time and spark inspiration, which is exactly what we're looking for. So, what is artificial intelligence rebranding, right? So, we know what branding is, we know what rebranding is, but how does artificial intelligence tap in the branding world? So, AI branding is pretty much the process of combining human creativity. Super important for you to understand that we really want to have human creativity in this equation with artificial intelligence tools to shape, again, how your brand looks, feels, and communicates. You can use this course right here in the next lessons to rebrand if you want, or create a new brand from scratch. If you don't have a brand, or you have like somewhat of a brand and you want to make it super clear what you're doing here, you can use AI for that. So again, traditional branding used to involve multiple specialists, designers, strategists, copywriters, and these were the people that I was about to pay $10,000, right, to rebrand my business, right? But these exact roles can be outsourced to artificial intelligence. The repetitive, right, robotic work, if you will, of designers, strategists, or copywriters, if we remove their creative element, can be outsourced to artificial intelligence. And guess what? Usually the creative vision itself, right, is asked to be inputted to these people by yourself, even if you're working with, actual people, not artificial intelligence, right? And this same human creativity and human input can be given to artificial intelligence to perform these, again, repetitive robotic tasks. So again, today, AI tools allow one person like you, for example, or like me, we don't need to know coding. I have no idea regarding coding. I've never coded anything in my entire life, to do all of this work, the work of designers, strategists, and copywriters, right? Efficiently with smart guidance. All you need to do is to be able to articulate what you want, to describe what you want. So AI helps you create visual ideas, logos, brand kits, even like messaging that will be aligned with the messaging and the type of tone that you want your brand to have. So the key again is to see AI as an extension of your creativity and not a replacement of it. I'm going to be repeating this phrase a lot in this and the next lesson because it's super important for you to understand that, right? People who thrive while using artificial intelligence are the people who maintain their creativity and had, right, high levels of creativity before even engaging with AI, because this is where true creativity can really flourish, right? So why does artificial intelligence branding matter right now? You see, we live in this era where content is produced faster than ever. Anyone has access to content creation machines, right? Anyone can create content with their phones, right? Back in the day, you used to like require those big cameras, those big studios, those big video editing setups. Nowadays, anyone can produce content, right? And that's a fact. Standing out with your content is super essential, right? And an awesome way to stand out is to create a brand, right? And put all of this content of yours under the umbrella of a brand. So AI helps brands maintain speed and consistency while keeping designs visually stunning, right? It pretty much gives the creators access to professional level tools, right? Without requiring years of design experience, which would be something that you would need, right? If we were having this conversation even months ago, not even years ago, but even months ago. So brands that manage to adopt artificial intelligence branding now position themselves as modern, agile, and future ready. Because guess what? If you understand the principles I'm going to be discussing in this course right here, you will be able to brand and rebrand in, let's say, days. You can probably perform a whole rebranding, a whole business rebranding in some days for free, right? Which means that you can be rebranding once a week, once a month, right? Whenever there's a new trend going on and you want to hop in this trend, you can rebrand your whole business, right, to adapt to this trend. How beautiful is that? So you need to understand and master artificial intelligence in the branding process, because this is one of the most valuable skills that you can gain today. It's going to be a huge creative advantage for you, and it's also a skill that's highly monetizable, right? You can outsource, right, these services of yours to a team and start hiring people and potentially even like offering these services to other businesses, because you will have this creative advantage. So this is what the course will look like. We have 5 structured modules, right? Each building up to the previous one. So in the beginning, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence branding. We're going to be understanding what AI branding is and how it fits into the modern creative process. This is what's happening right now. Then we're going to be talking about how artificial intelligence has completely changed design and branding. So we're going to have a look at the transformation of the creative industry due to artificial intelligence. Super, super important lesson. If you don't understand the differences between old school branding and modern branding with artificial intelligence, you're going to have, again, the whole thing split in half. You won't understand the whole course, right? And then we're going to be launching Canva AI, and we're going to be discussing about the Canva AI ecosystem, right? How all of these tools work together and how we can leverage them together, right, to create this new brand identity. Finally, we're going to be discussing about the different branding elements, what elements, a brand shall have, and how we can recreate them with artificial intelligence. And I'm going to end this course with an awesome live example. So what can you expect to achieve by the end of this course? Well, first of all, you will gain a complete understanding of what makes a brand strong and consistent. And just by understanding, again, those basic branding principles that don't even have to do with artificial intelligence will make you super valuable in today's market. Because guess what? When content is very available, right, and very accessible, branding becomes a very, very, very valuable skill to have, because now you can be able to potentially, again, brand other businesses which are emerging every single day. So you learn also how to translate brand strategy into visual assets like logos, colors, typography in literal seconds, right? Of course, we will be using Canva AI's tool to design smarter and faster, and you'll walk away from this course with a professional looking brand kit, which by the way, it's just like a plug and play system in Canva, right? You create your brand kit and you can plug and play into any like presentations you create, in any pitch deck that you create, in any photograph, video, social media post. Your brand kit will be, again, a plug and play system that just sprinkles your brand's identity into all of these elements that I discussed about. But most importantly, you develop a systematic way to approach design so you can replicate your success in these future projects. So, how does artificial intelligence transform creativity? Because yes, of course, we talked about preserving this human aspect of creativity in this world of AI, but creativity hasn't remained untapped, to be told. This is just a small remark before we end with this session right here. Now, our AI doesn't remove from the word creativity. It only enhances it. It only multiplies it. And I felt this as a highly creative person. I run two creative businesses. And ever since AI has come into place, I have only seen my creativity being multiplied. Instead of, again, staring at blank canvas, AI gives you a starting point, which can be a foundation that you can refine, right? You remember back in the day, for example, when you were in school, probably, right? Or I don't know if you had like computers when you were in school, or if you were at college or university, or if you've ever were called to write an article. That back in the day, before artificial intelligence, we just used to stare in this blank Word document with this cursor blinking. We didn't know how to start our essay, right? But now with AI, it's possible, right? And you don't need all of this energy and time to start your creative engine, right? AI can help you with this, right? So if we're going to talk about the evolution of branding, we're going to take a small step back for a second and talk about what branding used to be. Super important. So again, traditional branding back in the day was a super slow manual process, right? We're talking about research being conducted for weeks, then sketching. We didn't even have computers back in the day. So long revisions and long production cycles, right? In order to brand back in the day, a whole team of 5 people was needed, right? Because you needed 5 different professionals. You need, for example, one researcher, one person who was an expert in sketching, one expert who just, did the revisions and revised the whole thing. Or again, people who did brand production stuff. Nowadays, everything is outsourced to AI. So with AI, design has become more iterative and dynamic. You literally can test multiple styles quickly and gather feedback in real time. And of course, this speed gives smaller creators the same advantage that big companies that hire all of these people on full time have, We now have the same exact starting point. There is no advantage over us small creators that have access to artificial intelligence and those big companies that have hired so many people and are literally paying tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month, to have these people employed. And the best part is you can experiment fearlessly because the cost of creation has, of course, dropped dramatically, right? Canva AI is like $10 a month, and it comes with like the standard Canva plan, which is a no-brainer if you're a creative professional. So, what is the power of Canva AI? Pretty much, Canva AI makes all of this accessible to everyone. Yes, ChatGPT exists. Yes, OpenAI has all of these AI tools, but Canva, right, brings artificial intelligence into the design world, which was lacking so much the input of AI. Because up until this point, artificial intelligence was mostly limited into language models. DeepSeek, ChatGPT, those are language models. Yes, they're awesome and super, super useful if you want to write an essay or write a script, right? Or edit script or write an email, right? But when it comes to design, artificial intelligence was so back, right? Not as advanced. But now with Canva AI, this whole thing changes. So again, Canva AI combines multiple artificial intelligence systems like image generation, video generation, and text generation into one, again, place, which is awesome. You can also create a brand kit, which we've been talking about. It's just super, super awesome. And throughout this course, we're going to be exploring together these features step by step. And by the end, you'll know how to integrate them right into your creative process. So one small thing before we start with the next lesson of this course, right, is your class project, right? I want to assign you your class project for this course right here. Now, this course will give you a certification that you have studied Canva AI and you are now, sufficient in branding with Canva AI. This certification can be leveraged for you to potentially, close clients or, apply Canva AI branding into your business and other businesses. So it's super, super important for you to complete this class project, right? I want you to complete this class project, submit this class project in the class project description right below this course right here. I will be personally reviewing every single one of your projects. And this is also an awesome way to connect with me as your instructor. So in this project right here, for this project, you'll create a full brand kit using Canva AI. So what is a brand kit? What should your brand kit include? It should include a logo, which will be generated with AI. It should include a cohesive color palette and typography combination that will, of course, be also generated with Canva AI. And of course, some example visuals, just example visuals, they don't need to be the exact same, social media posts that you will have, but I want some example social media posts visuals, or at least some presentation slide visuals. And of course, these social media posts and these presentation styles should be aligned with your brand identity, obviously. So they should have, like, for example, your logo as a watermark. They should have the same colors that your brand uses, the same fonts that your brand uses. And again, if you want, you can also add as a bonus a short brand story and a tagline that communicates the personality of your brand. Do not worry about this. This might sound a bit overwhelming, but it's really not. I'm going to show you how to create all of these and how to generate all of these within seconds, literally, with Canva AI. So once finished, again, I want you to upload this class project of yours in the class project section of this course and just show your kit with everyone else, connect with other students, connect with me as your instructor, and it's going to be so cool. This is going to be your final deliberative for this course right here, which, again, I'm super excited to have you. So enough with this first lesson. As you can see, I'm genuinely super excited to be here, right, to instruct this lesson. And let's move to the next lesson of this course, in which we're going to be discussing how artificial intelligence has completely reshaped the world of design and branding, right? So more information about this in the next lesson of this course.